In our last video, I mentioned that no matter what components you have installed for your Canary administrator, there are some tiles that are universal for all installations. This video will highlight these particular tiles in greater detail. And let's start with the tile that contains the Canary logo. Clicking on this tile will highlight our company address in Martinsburg, Pennsylvania, as well as tell you the version you have installed. Next, let's jump into the Services tile. Services provides control of any Canary Lab service. Each service is displayed by row, with columns providing additional information. Service tells you the short name of the service. The state lets you know the current state of that service. It could be running, stop pending, or stopped and start pending. Faulted is false unless the service process has a fault, in which case a message is displayed in the messages column. Started tells you the date and time the service was last started. Runtime shares how long the service has continually run. And stop and start contains a control button to stop or start the service depending on the state. And again, messages will share any error messages associated with the service if it is faulted. The control buttons in the upper right-hand corner allow you to start all or stop all services. Except for the admin, that has one click. Next, we'll move to the Messages tile. Messages encompasses information from all Canary Labs processes, and it provides a sequential view of events as they happen to troubleshoot any connection, data logging, or viewing problems. You'll see in the lower left-hand corner, we have the Audit tab. This provides a view of the messages, and it's updated every 5 seconds with the latest message at the top. Messages are displayed in columns and rows. Each message row will have a column for timestamp, log level, source, category, and the message itself. Filters on the status bar at the bottom will show if any filters are currently applied. When the Messages tile is opened, it will show 1,000 messages by default. Scrolling to the bottom of the list will retrieve additional messages. Filters can be configured with the Filter button in the upper right-hand corner. You can filter by level, source, or category, or perform a keyword search in the message. It also allows you to search and filter by timestamp. You also have the ability to export your list of messages. The Configuration tab in the lower left-hand corner allows you to set up email notifications and the message level for each source. You'll notice the Configuration tab opens a sub-menu with Email, Verbosity, and Database. The Suspend Email Notifications box will disable all email notification until it is unchecked. You also have the ability to send a test email. This sends a test email message using the configured settings, and a confirmation message is displayed indicating the status of the test. SMTP server is the name of the mail server that can send out mail through the SMTP protocol. If you don't know the name of your SMTP mail server, contact your network administrator for that information. Port 25 is the default for no authentication, and port 587 when using authentication. But these are dependent on the SMTP server. From is required in email address format, and when not using authentication, this address could contain the name of the machine to indicate where the message originated from. When the Use Authentication box is checked, this email must match the authentication. Moving over to the Verbosity tab, the message level allows you to choose between standard, debug, and trace. Be sure to set it to standard for normal operation, as debug and trace will consume extra resources to write out the message log. Debug includes standard plus debug messages written into the code, while trace displays function calls and results depending on the application. The sources available will vary depending on the products installed, so your list may look slightly different than what you see displayed here. And remember to set it to standard for normal operation. The Database tab is only viewable when a message database has been exported into the default location. This allows support staff or Canary customer care team members to select an alternate database. Up next is the Licenses tile. Local is the default tab when the tile is opened, and this displays the products installed on the local system, and it's also where you can add licenses either manually or through the internet. Now the Server tab functions the same as the Local tab, with the one exception being identifying a licensed server. It is important to note that licenses on the licensed server are not functional until they are transferred to a local machine. Next, let's check out the Transfer tab. Local licenses are displayed on the left side, and server licenses would be listed on the right-hand side. In my example, I do not currently have any server licenses, but if we click on a local license, the arrow will populate and would allow me to transfer the license to the server license. And multiple licenses can be transferred by repeating the same process. Now the configuration at the bottom has just one box. Checking the box will register the license server on the local machine. The license server is not required for day-to-day operations, but it serves as a repository for transferring licenses. Usually, only one license server would be registered on a network. The last tile we will examine in this video is the Admin tile. Under Configuration, there are three tabs: Endpoints, Access, and Settings. The net.pipe anonymous local only is always enabled and provides any interactive user access. The net.tcp Windows port 55273 is used when connecting remotely to another Canary Admin service. This endpoint will be tried first using local users' Windows credentials. And the .NET TCP username, if the Windows credentials fail, then the communication will fail over to allow the user to enter credentials for a remote connection. Under the Access tab, by default, administrators have full access. Any denied users will be listed on the right, And we can also add or remove users or user groups. The Settings tab has a checkbox for Persist Last Connection. When checked, the Canary Admin will reconnect to the last admin service connected. Unchecked, the Canary Admin will default to the local host. There is also a box that enables the diagnostic health system settings. I hope this video provided an overview for some of the basic tiles. In future videos, we will take a deeper dive into some of the other tiles.